really good in the preseason. I don't really know how he's looked in practice, but I think he's looked well enough in practice that Coach Belichick lets him trot out there every week when they open up the game with the starters. And so I think Cam will maintain his lead. And I think the difference here, Skip, this year is because they have 3 preseason games, not 4. You get an entire extra week because, Skip, you remember last year, a couple of years back, they would have 4 preseason games. The game would end on Thursday, and then the following week you would play. Now the games end this week, and it's not this week. So you basically have 2 weeks. Cam will actually have 2 weeks to get back into a rhythm, a nice throwing rhythm, and maintain the level of. I believe he's in the lead. I believe he's in the lead as far as Mac Jones. Can Mac Jones catch him? I don't think so. But I tell you what, Skip, when you are in a contested battle for a job, the last thing you want to do is to let them get eyes specifically on one guy. Skip, I remember as a rookie, hey, I know I'm in a battle. I get injured, I ain't telling nobody. I'm not telling the trainers. I'm just going out there, just sucking it up, trying to do everything I possibly can because I don't want anybody else to get any more reps than what I'm going to get.
Got it.
Skip, well, I get this about this misunderstanding, but let me tell you what's going on. The NFL has made it abundantly clear. If you're not vaccinated, you're going to be subjected to some very harsh protocols about getting tested daily. If you break these protocols, how much they're willing to fine you. So I don't believe it's a misunderstanding. The NFL, like unvaccinated players, we want you to get vaccinated because we are not letting you blow up our season. We're not going to be able to move games like we were last year, Skip. We're not going to be able to do it. So we want you to get vaccinated. And I was reading yesterday, Skip, someone from the, I don't know if it was the CDC or the Mayo Clinic, went and talked to the Vikings. And they said, to this point, no one has ever died from the vaccine. But there have been a lot of people that's died because they've been unvaccinated. Yep. There have been more people that over the last, year and a half that's died from aspirin than died from taking the vaccine. So they're trying, and it's been, Pfizer's gained full FDA approval. So they're trying to do everything they possibly can to put these players' mind at ease. They said, well, I need some more information. I need more information. Well, you need more information about all the other things that you've been ingesting, like naproxen, like Celebrex, like Percocet, you know, Skip, like Vicodin, like Toradol. You take all those things to go out there and play, and you don't bat an eye. So for me, Skip, I don't believe it's going to have an impact on whether Cam Newton. I believe Cam Newton starts the season. Starting the season, finishing the season is something entirely different. But I don't believe it'll have the impact that it probably would have in years past.
Okay. My conclusion is this cannot help Cam Newton at this point because it does feel like it's a competition. I will agree with you. I agree that Cam is slightly ahead in the competition. Okay. But it feels like Mac Jones is picking up steam.
Right.
And I've told you from the start, I believe that in Bill Belichick's heart of hearts, if he could sooner than later go forward with Mac Jones, he would be more comfortable with that than with Cam Newton because Bill Belichick right now is all about proving Tom Brady wrong, who proved, obviously, last year Belichick about as wrong as you can look.
Right.
And, obviously, Tom Brady's going to visit Foxborough in the week 4 of the season. It's a Sunday night game.
Right.
And I believe in Bill's heart of hearts, if he could beat Tom with his guy that he stole in the draft, the way he stole Brady, it was the 15th overall pick. If he could beat him with Mac Jones, that would be more pleasing to Bill, more satisfying to Bill, more deeply gratifying to Bill than to beat him with a Cam Newton who won his MVP, obviously, for Carolina. So again, Bill did say, I can do something with that guy, Cam Newton, and he was for a while last year until, guess what? Cam got COVID. And it seemed to hit him pretty hard because he was never the same after he got COVID.
He was not.
We saw some spectacular performances, especially at Seattle. They lost, but Cam had a chance to bounce it outside at the end, or he could have capped off with an exclamation point. An all-time great performance, one of the greatest of his career. Then against Buffalo, they also lost, but Cam played beautifully in this game. He looked like an MVP in that game.
He did.
Okay, and then COVID hits, and from that point on, Cam just slides into oblivion and winds up of the 33 qualified quarterbacks. He had the 30th QBR at the end of the year, 30th out of 33. So it was a pretty all-around miserable season for Cam.
It was a bad season.
Yeah, after a sensational start preempted by, guess what, COVID. Okay, so here we go again. And we have an alleged miscommunication. And this is where
Gets
I'm a little
fuzzy.
mystified by
Okay.
this. But the NFL Network just reported, I'm going to read their tweet. Per sources, there is a level of frustration internally with Cam Newton. One important member of the organization believes this has, quote, unquote, opened a window of opportunity for rookie Mac Jones. I think we could all see
Yeah, we agree with
coming.
that, yes.
And then goes on to say the team practices today, and then the Giants come for a joint practice on Wednesday and Thursday, and Cam could be back on Thursday.
Right.
Iffy, but could
But
be.
I don't see, because they play Friday, right? Or they play Saturday?
Not sure. Can't
Because I don't, Skip, I don't think he would.
They must play Saturday if they're going to have a joint practice
Right.
on Thursday.
Wednesday,
Not sure.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and have Cam come back and play that game, Skip. I don't see that happening. But what do we know, Skip, about Tom Brady?
They
Tom
play
Brady
Sunday.
Sunday, okay. Skip, the starting quarterback, he doesn't want the backup to get any looks.
Well,
I don't want you looking at him. Why you think Brady took all the reps? Why you think Peyton Manning and Drew Brees takes all the reps?
Okay.
I don't want you looking at my backup.
Okay, so now back to vaccinated or unvaccinated. Obviously, it's freedom of choice. Everybody has their own personal reasons
Right.
to do it or not do it.
Right.
And yet, the Boston Herald writes this morning, only an unvaccinated player is subject to this kind of lockdown.
Thank you.
And while it's Newton's choice to be vaccinated or not, refusing the vaccine sets up all kinds of risks and scenarios, both for himself and the team, and none of them are good. Agreed.
Yes.
So he probably opened a small window. Is it big enough window for Mac Jones to seize the job over
Right.
the next couple of practices, one against the Giants, especially the one on Wednesday?
Well, you let him get an opportunity that he probably wouldn't have had Cam been there.
That is correct. And the Boston Herald concludes, for a guy like Cam Newton, who's fighting for his career, why give Jones the keys to the offense right now? Well, that's your point about injury. You just keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
So here's what lost me to begin with. If, in fact, the Patriots team, as a team, as their executives, somebody upstairs, maybe to Belichick, I
Coach
don't know,
Belichick.
bless this. Somebody had to sign off on that Cam could leave the area. I don't know. He's obviously lives in Atlanta. Did he need to go see a doctor in Atlanta?
Right.
It's possible.
Right.
On an off day. Well, once you leave your area, you can't go get tested elsewhere. It's against the protocol because we're going to assume he's not vaccinated.
Correct.
So if you leave, it's an automatic quarantine
Correct.
it's 5 days.
Right.
It's 4 days plus one more. And you have to obviously then get tested at the end of the quarantine
Right.
to make sure you're okay.
Right.
Well, if you're vaccinated, you're free to go.
Correct.
So help me out. Did the Patriots sign off on it? Because if they did, then why is there a level of frustration internally with Cam
Right.
Newton? Because shouldn't they be complicit in this?
Right.
It would seem to be that, but maybe they didn't sign off on it.
Right.
Maybe their statement said there was a misunderstanding. Maybe they're viewing it as a misunderstanding just on Cam's
Well,
part.
maybe they were thinking that, okay, I'm going to see a doctor, and they were thinking the doctor was in the area. They didn't know he was going to leave the entire state.
Maybe. It has to be some
Yes.
miscommunication.
Something's not adding up, Skip.
No, it's not adding up. But the point is that Mac Jones does have an opening now. And I'm going to bring this back up because I told you this is the kind of thing that does not sit well with Bill Belichick.
No.
Remember, I'm going to go back to the post that he had, whatever it was, a week or so ago. Cam posted
About loyalty.
Loyalty, comma, I deserve it.
Right.
Well, was it coincidence or not that he happened to post it the day after Mac Jones had had his first appearance as a Patriot in a preseason game? He'd gotten a standing ovation.
Right.
Not shocking. And he had performed to rave reviews.
Yes.
So was he saying to Patriot Nation, I deserve a little more loyalty than that? Then Cam came back and said, no. It had nothing to do with on the field. It was all personal. It was about his kids, whatever. He went into a long explanation. Okay, and you said, okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
I'm not sure Belichick is going to give him that benefit because the coincidence of it was just a little too hard to believe that he would post that right after that happened, right?
Right.
Okay, so that was another knock on Cam and Belichick's mind.